Welcome. We're here today talking about parties.
Uh, so
Me and Amanda are the biggest party animals you'll ever meet, I'll tell you that.
I did have a single drink on Saturday night. So look
Woo!
out, everybody.
Crazy girl.
Yeah, literally right before this, I was listening to an audiobook as I walked Poe that quit like a woman, like not because I'm trying to be totally sober, but just like in this ever evolving relationship with alcohol, and everyone, like so many people have recommended it. So like very contrasting
Do you like it? Is it good?
topics. I mean, I just started it today, so I feel
Okay.
like I'm still in the beginning, but it's interesting so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good info. Good
How
info.
you doing today? How you
I'm
feeling?
good. I'm like super low tech. I got no mic. I just am literally hopping on.
I'm great.
I'm feeling good. I feel like physically good. I feel emotionally pretty steady, which is weird. So we're doing good.
Amazing. That feels new, not like you specifically, both of us, like
Yeah.
a new
Yeah.
theme. Because normally we come on and we're like, I'm so chronically tired and depressed, but like everyone is, right? This is
Yeah.
normal.
I know, right? We're like, we're doing this for everyone else, and no one replies. They're like, I think it's just you guys.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, we're doing this so you're not alone. Literally one person replies. Thanks.
Oh, let's jump into our rose and thorn.
Okay.
Big of a as big of a drop this week. Sorry, guys.
I mean,
Last
yeah,
week's drop of I'm pregnant. I don't think I can top that one.
I don't think we're ever going to be able to top that one. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Have you
You're
gotten
gonna
any,
be like, I'm pregnant with twins.
don't you put that on me.
I know that's honestly such a
How
fear.
fucking dare
Yep.
you? Okay, my rose.
Hmm.
I don't even know. I need to plan these out better in advance. Um, okay, well, I'm feeling good. Also in like a lovely mental state, which also feels new because I feel like especially recording the podcast last week and talking about all like the heavier stuff and like still working on that in therapy and all of that, like definitely was having a bit of like a downer couple weeks, which you have to feel those feelings and work through them. Like that's why they're coming up so strong, because I suppressed them for like 10 years. But I'm feeling good. I had like almost 4 days off. I had to work a little this morning, but that's okay. And I spent quite literally every day working on wedding stuff and just hanging out with Mark and just feeling like more organized and like sleeping, not like sleeping and like crazy, but like sleeping until 7:30 and like, feeling good.
That's awesome.
I finally got a car.
And you got a car like 2 seconds ago.
Literally update as of 2 seconds
What is
ago.
sugar daddy calling you, being like, hey, I got your car?
I know. I was like, oh, thank you for handling literally every detail, which makes me happy because I hate
He's a
admin.
car guy. It's
He's a car
hysterical.
guy. Like, I trust him. We decided on like the make and model that we were going to look for together.
Nice. What'd you end up
And
with?
a Toyota Highlander,
Nice. That's
my
good.
mom car. That's it. She's got
She's channeling the mom energy already.
like the bucket captain seat things, third
Ooh.
row.
Oh my God. That's a big car.
She's a bus for
I
sure.
love that. I know.
But
I
it'll
need
be
a big
good for
car
like
now.
events and stuff too,
Yeah, that's fabulous.
and the
Cool.
impending children.
Yeah.
So,
Love that.
what about you?
My rose is that we kind of last minute decided to go up to New Hampshire
Yeah.
on Saturday, and it was kind of weird. We have all of these opportunities kind of to go and do things, but Chad's work schedule is just always wild, and so I always don't commit to things because he can't do it. And then I kind of had this revelation of like, well, this isn't going to change, and like you need to still do things. So I decided to just go up. It's actually his aunt's house in New Hampshire. It's right on Bow Lake.
Nice.
So I said, why the hell not? I'll take little Annie Banani and we'll go up. So we went up and we went swimming and we went on the boat. It was Annie's first time on a boat, believe it or
Oh,
not. Like it's funny that Chad's job is that.
literally.
She's been on the boat, but to drive our boat needs like a crew. And
Yeah.
so that's the reason behind that.
How'd she
Um,
like it? Is there photo or video footage, and why haven't I seen it? First
yes,
of
I
all.
know. I need to post. I know. I like have been so bad with my phone. I just put it away. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm so
that's
bad because
amazing. That's like healthy.
yeah, it does. It actually feels good. But I do have a few pictures. She actually spiked a fever the morning of going
No,
out on the boat. So I just pumped her with some Motrin and we
good.
went out on the boat and she was a trooper. She just like, whenever the boat was driving, she just slept. I like put her right to sleep.
That's
And
so
she was so cute in her little puffy life jacket.
fun.
But she was good. I don't think she was like really sick. She felt better today. So yeah, it was really nice. It was nice to just say yes. And then Chad, of course, ended up surprising us as he does because he's a hero and just showed up randomly on Sunday. He likes to make himself the present. So if there's ever an opportunity for him to make a grand entrance, he always
Yeah,
does.
that's so real.
So yeah, I know. I'm like, of course, you have to steal the show.
You're like, we could just make a plan also.
He's like, yeah,
That
the
would be
weather
fun.
changed. I'm like, oh, I don't think so, but that's fine. So yeah, that was really nice that we did that. I was excited.
Nice. Yeah, it looked lovely.
Oh, bye.
What about our thorns?
What's yours?
Ugh, you wench. Okay. Definitely like the up and down feelings that I have had over the last couple weeks. Like it's not fun to work through this hard stuff and I don't
Mm,
like it and I don't want to do it anymore.
yeah,
Um, but at the same time, it does eventually end up feeling better and you have a better understanding of yourself. So like it just comes to the territory and it's fine. It's
mm,
fine. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much the most overarching thorn. It's like,
good,
yeah, just
good.
it's fun. It's heavy, but
Just life.
we're working on it.
You're working on it.
Yeah.
So I would say that mine is this realization that I feel like I do so much work or I don't want to call it like research, but I know a lot about the way that I want to live and I want to think and I want to embody my life.
Mhm.
But I feel like I'm trapped in this mind of mine that is maybe 99.5% of the time just thinking negative thoughts and what if and um just going to places that I don't want to think about.
Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating and exhausting to just constantly be like, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. And I just feel like I always put in so much work and it's just like, can my brain just like give me a little bit of a break?
Yeah.
It's like I can't like every 5 seconds, I'm like, oh, I still have to do this and I have to do this and I need to do this. And I'm doing something and I'm thinking about something else. And I think this is common for anyone living in the United States, to be
Yeah.
frank. But it's just, it's frustrating when you know better, but you can't do better, I guess. And I just keep coming back to this thought of the idea of like wisdom, and wisdom is you know something and you embody it and you act on it. And I
Mhm.
just feel like I know so much about how I want to think and act and behave. And my mind is like, nope, we are stuck in trauma. And
Yeah.
it's just like very frustrating. And I wonder why I'm always tired and all of these things. And it's because my freaking mind just won't stop.
I feel that hard. I feel like I have these battling thoughts with myself often too. Like
Okay.
the other day, yesterday, um, I just had like procrastinated all day and then it was really hot. So I waited until like evening to take Poe for a walk. And like while we were walking, I was like running through my list of like, okay, here's what I still can get done today. Here's what you're going to get done tomorrow. And I like physically had to like pull myself out of it and be
Yeah.
like, look at this like lovely scenery that you're around right now. Like the I was like in a park, so it smelled like that like fresh cut grass and it kind of felt like a fall evening. Like it was so idyllic. And I
Hmm.
still couldn't get out of like my anxious,
Yes.
overproductive brain. And I think it really is that it's this like societal way of being, but how do you really break the cycle?
And it's so much easier said than done, you know? I feel like
Go off in the
people,
comments.
yeah, you
Us.
you you like talk to all of these meditation coaches and these people who have it figured out, and they're just like, yeah, you just decide to think this way, or like you just meditate. And it's like, I
Mhm.
when I was pregnant with Annie, every single day trying to meditate, and I still cannot meditate at all for more. I can't like think about nothing for more than like a blink.
Yeah, no,
Just
same.
nothing.
Either I
And it,
think too much or I fall asleep.
yeah, see, I could never fall asleep because my mind's like,
Mm. It's
so
either all the way on or all the way off.
yeah.
There's a no in the middle.
So I feel like that's my thorn, and I just need to come to realization of like where I'm at and just be okay with that. And I think that that's my new goal of like, instead of trying to make my brain be a certain way, just being like, all right, this is the person I am. Like, can I have like 2 seconds to just drink my coffee without like making a to-do list? You know, like maybe like I need smaller steps than jumping right into like Buddhism.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all do. That's like the perfect example because like this weekend when I like didn't have anywhere to be in the morning and my only things to do were just like a bunch of wedding stuff that I was going to do in the living room, like I immediately go into that mode of like, okay, so in my head, like timing out, like it'll take me about this long to make breakfast, and then I can sit and I'll do this while I'm eating my breakfast. And it's like, bitch, no.
Yes.
Put on some Gilmore Girls, drink your coffee, and like enjoy it. You don't have anywhere to be. Enjoy
Right.
it. But we have a
Right.
hard time doing that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's my
baby
thorn.
steps. I think that's a good take the pressure off. You don't have to change your whole life and your
Yeah.
whole being right away.
Yeah. So that's that.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But we're here.
We're here.
Talk
We're
about
here.
Bachelorette
Party.
parties.
Oh, because yours is right around the corner. And by the time this airs, we'll be through with it, which is crazy.
We'll be in the recovery mode, just like not wanting to be in the real world.
Yep.
Um, which also made me realize that I need to order some mascara. I just ran out. I need mascara on this trip.
Well, still needs mascara. I'm sure one of the girls will have mascara for you.
I mean, absolutely. But like still what an essential. Um,
Great. Let's open our notes.
okay. So you open yours.
Well, I
I
just added to yours.
oh perfect. Okay.
I
I
steal your ideas and
no.
you know.
Perfect. Oh, yes, I see your additions now. Okay, I figured it would be fun to start with like the hell yes, like things that we love about bachelorette
Mm-hmm.
parties. And I feel like for like you go through in your life, you go through waves with bachelorette parties. And now we are at a point where we have been on a plethora. And
Yes.
it's more difficult now because people have kids or just like really busy lives. Like we have more responsibilities. But there is something so special about like getting the gals together and having just some girly, swirly times. Like it's not about going out and flirting with boys, or at least for me, like not about going like super balls to the walls and like having your best celebration ever, your last single weekend. Like you're already committed.
Yeah.
Um, I just want to have like a throwback sleepover with my girl.
Yes. Yes.
Soak up
Agreed.
that energy,
Totally
you
agreed.
know?
Yes, we are well versed in bachelorette parties. And it's funny to think of like, I was probably like the first bachelorette party that I ever went to when I was getting married. Like, I had my
Yeah.
bachelorette party maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and just how different it is now, because now, like, you're probably one of the last bachelorette parties I'm going to go to. So it's funny
Oh,
to think of both of them. And it's like, do less, like I'm pumped for yours
do
because like
less.
we're just like here for each other, we're not
Yeah.
here to like go crazy, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah. Totally agree. I don't know if we want to jump back and forth, but I feel like in my like hell no category, that was the theme. It was like,
Okay.
let's do less. Like TikTok, just the same way that Pinterest kind of made the wedding industry and bachelorettes like more of a beast, TikTok took it another step higher. And
Yes.
I think, in my opinion, just the way that like the really cheesy 2015 like all matching t-shirts that are
Ooh,
like screen
t-shirts.
printed, awkwardly fitting American Apparel like V-necks, like
Yeah.
just the way that those are now chuggy, in my mind, I think the highly like curated, making your friends do like 4 themed nights that are like have specific rules and regulations, like that's fucking chuggy.
Yeah.
Because
No, I totally agree.
what is the point? Like, I get it's fun to do like a theme or whatever, but like it's too much.
I know. I completely agree. And I'm going to piggyback
Yeah.
off of that back into our hell yes of it is too much to do a super theme, but
But
I'm a girly who wants an itinerary and
yeah,
I love parameters of what to wear. Do you want me to wear black one night? Do you want me to wear
that's
pastels the
different.
other night? Are we being cowgirls? Like, sign me up. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I love a good, like, outfit attire, like I don't want to all be matching per
Yeah.
se, but like tell me a color scheme, like I
That's
love
different.
that for us. Yeah.
I like that too. It makes it easier to pack. It's
Mhm.
like I feel like remembering what you're there for, like going back to like similar how like weddings can just, you can get so lost in the sauce. But like,
Yes.
let's remember what we're here for. So, like,
Yep.
let's have some fun, let's do some silly things. But like, if you feel like you need to buy like 25 outfits and every single night is this perfectly curated theme that everyone is like going broke and stressed out and like it's all just to get a good TikTok, what are we
Mhm.
doing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
What are some good themes that you have enjoyed?
hands down, and I feel like this is the time that we need to post the grandma catwalk that I never released on TikTok that has just been sitting in my
Yes.
drafts. I don't know why. The grandmas.
Yep.
Pro tip, dress up as old ladies
Yep.
and like go to a bowling alley, bop around town. We did this together
Yep.
and it was one of the
Best.
best days of my life.
Yeah. You go to Savers and get like the cheapest things ever, and
Right.
it's so much fun.
You're not spending
Everyone
lots
loves
of
it.
money. It's
Yep.
just funny and silly and like, yeah, it goes back to that like, are you having like a silly, goofy time with your friends? Like, don't take it too seriously. Go all out and
Mhm.
just like bop around and be silly old ladies.
Yeah. I love that one. That was so much fun.
It was so good. Um, I haven't really done any other funny ones like that, but I've seen funny ones again on TikTok.
Mhm.
Like Shrek characters dressing up as like whoever the like groom or partner's name, like famous characters or actors or whatever that's the same name.
Mhm.
Funny.
That's a good one.
Parent Trap, I don't know.
Yeah, those
That's
are
like
good
the
ones.
millennial
Yeah,
things.
I know. I'm here. I feel like it just depends on the person, but like if you can
Totally.
handle like a funny theme, like go for it. I'm here for it. It's such a good time.
Yeah, and I feel like it kind of takes the attention away from like the itinerary just be like drinking the whole time and like brings it back. I don't know. It gives you more like content to like interact with
Totally.
together rather than just like, all right, let's go out again.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
Okay. Let's talk about Airbnbs because you
Ooh.
had written slumber party night at an Airbnb. What do you mean by that?
Well, okay, and I'm seeing what you're writing too, which I agree with. First step of the Airbnbs. We're not 25.
No,
We're
I'm
getting a
not
big
sleeping
enough
on an air
house.
mattress. Yeah.
Absolutely. There is no reason why you need to do that.
No, no. Or a couch. Like I want a full bed. Like I don't
Right.
need my own bed. I'll have a
No.
little snuggle sesh with someone. That's
Different
fine. But
rooms.
like we all need our own bed?
We need, yeah. So enough beds, enough bathrooms.
Yes.
Preferably somewhere big enough where you can all convene in the living room if there's a like outdoor space or something. It doesn't have to be something fancy.
Yep.
But we've done that. I feel like at a couple bachelorette parties where one night we stay in, maybe it's like during the day we do something that's more planned and then at night we just get takeout and have
Yeah.
like a girly sleepover, and it's so much fun to just,
That was one of the things I had said too, of like, make sure you have enough food, like don't
ooh,
skimp
yeah.
out on the food. My biggest thing when I get anxious, I need to eat food. I know that that's like opposite of other people, but I feel like if you're not eating, you're just not going to feel good. So like everyone come up with your budget. I feel like that's another tip too of have a discussion beforehand. And I think that sometimes get thrown
I
out
love
the
that.
window of someone's in charge and it's a lot of work to collaborate and communicate with the group of like, is everyone comfortable with a budget of however many dollars? Just so that you can kind of like start to plan these things
Yeah.
because I will say it is frustrating if like you end up somewhere and this has happened to me a bunch being a vegetarian and not being a heavy drinker. Like I go and I pay for other people's like food or I pay for other people's drinks and like there's an extent of it that like I assume, but it's also just like I want to know ahead of time,
Yeah.
like if we're going to a club and we're all splitting the tab and like I'm ordering a beer or two and people are getting like
Drinks on
Grey
drinks
Goose
on
to the
drinks.
table. Like, I
Yeah.
think that we need to talk about those types of things, but I feel like have that communication beforehand. And then you can plan. Like if you want to have a ton of snacks, like I'll go to Trader Joe's, I'll have a budget of $500 and I'll get like a shit ton of good cheeses and things like what does everyone like, things like
Yeah.
that. So definitely have a conversation.
I love that in general, like beyond just
Mm,
the food, like because I feel like that's something that like hasn't really happened on any of the bachelorette parties that I've ever been on, but then it leads to some frustrations, especially with like bachelorettes being like the most these days, where like I have seen people doing their bachelorettes in Europe. Is that something that we're doing? Like aggressive.
no.
And like there's something to be said if you're in your like maybe like mid 30s, 40s or whatever, and like you have a core small group of that are like,
Yeah.
they are like so down to do like a big luxurious trip and it's a trip for them too. Like I could
Yes.
like no, I'm not judging, but like to just assume and tell all your friends like, "Hey, we're going to Greece for my bachelorette." Like that's really
We're
assuming a
not,
lot. Yeah.
yeah.
And I feel like I've been in situations too where I'm the maid of honor planning and being like, this is what the bride really wants, and we're gonna go to this destination that's like within the US, but also you're gonna spend more because it's flights and all that.
Yeah.
And it leads to like frustrations from the group being like, I didn't realize we're gonna be spending so much money, and like, and it's just
Mhm.
awkward. So I agree. I think having a conversation ahead of time.
Yeah. And like people might be upset, but it's way better to be upset and like know about it, plan, and you can say yes or no, rather than like at the end of it being like, oh, you owe me $500 for bar
Absolutely.
tab last night.
Absolutely. And this is another good tip, split wise.
Hmm.
Everyone listening has probably already used it on a group trip. And if you haven't, we're going to save your life. But it really is helpful because you can just choose who you're splitting with. So if, you know, these three gals are going to the bar nonstop and, getting all the drinks or whatever, those three split it and it doesn't have to be between
Yes.
everyone, which I feel like can be helpful. And then I feel like also doing like when you get to the Airbnb, like an Instacart order or send a couple girls to the grocery store and like plan ahead for like I feel like we always do a pretty good job of being like, okay, this morning we're gonna do breakfast at the house and it's gonna be just like typical eggs, toast. We'll get some like jugs of iced coffee, like having that stuff where like you just don't just spend so much
Hmm.
every day.
I agree. I agree. Like have a meal plan too. Like,
Yeah,
we're gonna do
like a loose
bagel cream
itinerary.
cheese on Sunday morning. Just like have a plan so people don't wake up and they're like, what are we doing? Some are grabbing coffee, some are going for a walk, and it's like, wait, what's the
Yeah,
plan?
I love that. I mean, I love any organization.
I know. Can you tell I'm the type A?
So,
I'm like, give me a whole map and itinerary of everything.
but I also will say, a hot tip if you're a maid of honor, because I think you did such a good job at this. And I know that you like joked around being like, I'm a mom and like this is what I just have to do. But like I think every maid of honor should do this for a bridal shower if the bridesmaids are planning it and the bachelorette to write out all of the tasks that need to be done and then just have the bridesmaids sign up for tasks. because it
Mhm.
shouldn't all have to be on the one person.
Totally.
Like you're
Yeah.
all, everyone should be willing to help.
Yeah. And everyone is. Like you have to expect that if you're part of the party.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
That's
love that.
good.
All right. What are other no's?
I mean, I feel like we talked about a lot of them, but also like just doing the most, doing the most, doing the most. Pick a reasonable destination for the group that you're with. We're really lucky because we live in a place where there's so many drivable destinations. And don't get me wrong, I have had such a good time on other ones that we've flown to, but I feel like, yeah, having that conversation to make sure that everyone is like okay with that.
Where's
Uh,
your favorite destination that you've been to for a bachelorette party? Take away the bachelorette like party itself, but like destination wise with a group of people, where's been your favorite?
oh man, oh
I know.
man.
I know, no pressure, but just like to throw it out there because I feel like some people want to think about these things.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's because of the grandma's day, but I feel like Emma's bachelorette in Portland was one of my favorites ever. Like
Mhm.
that day was just so much fun and it was just so chill. Like everything was really low key. Um, I loved Lindsay's just being like a drive down the Cape. We had a pool at the Airbnb, so we ended up spending so much time at the Airbnb, which was just like again chill and nice.
Right.
Um, the only actual destinations I've been to, like flying wise, for a bachelorette is Charleston,
Hmm.
which it's nice and cute and fun, but I don't know. It's an expensive place for a
Yeah. Oh
bachelorette. I had the best time on it, but actually I've been to two bachelorettes in Charleston.
my gosh, that's hysterical.
And Nashville was so fun. It's just definitely more of like all
Parties.
drinking than like is my vibe, but I had a great time when I was there.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you?
I think I'll agree with you on, I think Portland was my favorite in terms of like destination wise, because it was so easy to get to. You just parked and then you could walk to everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would definitely say that that was probably my favorite.
This was
Um,
like easy and like chill,
yeah, yeah.
but really fun at the same time.
Yeah, I also missed out on I think 3 bachelorette parties last year because I was pregnant, which is like because I don't think I've had that many destinations either, now that I'm like saying it
Really
out loud,
haven't.
flying destinations.
Yeah.
So
Like I'm like missing some. But Nashville was really fun. Like if you haven't ever been, like it's just such a good happy vibe. And honestly, I didn't drink a ton that weekend and I had so much fun. Like
yeah.
we did the girly like party bus kind of thing that's like open air around
Mhm.
town and just like dancing with girlfriends. Like
Yeah,
that's all you need.
love it.
Um, but I also will say, like, very similar to like micro weddings, I feel like smaller bachelorette parties is kind of a vibe too. Like,
Mhm.
not inviting every girl you've ever met in your life and even doing it in like a one night thing or like a really nice experience,
Mhm.
dinner or whatever. Like, I think there's a lot of pressure to do so much. And for
Yeah.
some people, like it's really not feasible, whether financially or time or whatever.
Mhm.
And kind of
Yeah,
like bring it back to like, why are we here? You know, like how can you just make it special for what it is?
yeah. I think if I were to have a bachelorette party today, I would, and no one's done this. Why is no one doing this? Rent out a suite in a hotel, like a nice hotel.
Mhm.
You can actually get like decent prices nowadays if
Yeah.
you like do some research, plan ahead. At like a spa situation,
Mm,
go to a restaurant on site, go to the spa, sleep in a nice comfy cozy bed, get room service the next day, and then everyone's out.
yeah.
Bye. That's enough.
Bye. No, I agree. Like I think that that's plenty and like
I
you
think
really
outside the box
enjoy.
sometimes, Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like, yeah, you really enjoy the time that you do have together.
Mhm.
And at our age, like sometimes it's just hard to make it work for anything longer than that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was one of the things, was like really trying to remember the meaning behind what you're doing. Like trying to leave your own shit at the door.
Hmm.
Like the amount of bachelorette parties that I have been on where like there's always the one or two girls that are complaining the entire time during planning. They're
Hmm.
complaining the whole weekend. Well, I don't want to go here. This place is boring. Like, shut up. It's
Yeah.
not about you. Look at your friend who you're there to celebrate. Is she having a good time? Because let her just thrive and
Yeah.
you just match the energy. Like
Exactly.
complaining about the Airbnb, it's too cold, it's too hot. Like,
Yeah.
no,
And don't be a slob kebab, okay?
don't do
And
it.
I'll say this, and I hope that some of my friends don't listen that have been slob kebabs, and I forgive you, but it takes the attention away from the bride in a way that like is a little annoying, you
Oh, like
know?
a drunk slob kebab.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I
Yeah.
mean, like especially the age we're at now, like just stop, just chill.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, don't
never
go
mind.
there. Yeah, just a hot tip.
I also will just say it's not your weekend to escape your life in a way of like, oh, I'm on my friend's bachelorette party and now I'm not going to pay any attention to the friend I'm here to be spending time with. And I'm just going to make it my sole purpose to like find a guy to flirt with, give my number out. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh my
it's
God, no.
okay to like do some of that in, maybe if you're single and whatever.
Mhm.
But like the point of the trip is you spending time with your friend and
Yeah.
like again having some
Mhm.
girly swirly time.
Yeah, I was at a bachelorette party once that this girl is in my friend and definitely won't be listening, but she ended up leaving with a guy. And then the next morning, the bride was like, where is this girl? Like, what the
Yeah,
hell? She
absolutely
just like
not.
came home and the bride was rightfully like, what the hell, man? So that was pretty shitty.
Yeah, and I feel like yeah, like I feel like I've been on some other bachelorette parties where people just like again are complaining about everything like, oh well, this bar has a $10 cover charge, I'm going home, and it's like 9 o'clock and the bride is like, I just wanted to like go listen to live music, or like
Right.
the maid of honor doesn't think about what the bride wants or what the bridal party can like swing or anything. They're just like planning all the activities that they want to do that like no one else wants to do.
Right.
You
Right.
know, it's
Hmm.
just like remember why you're there,
Hmm.
and like be a
Right.
normal
We digress.
person.
What
Uh,
are some other hot tips you have? Anything?
okay, balancing that out with
Mhm.
still taking care of your own needs too, which
Yes.
I think rings true for people like us that are anxious
Yes.
and don't drink a ton. So whether that means like, listen, I can only make it for one night,
Yep.
make it for one night, and you're super present that one night.
Yep.
If you're there the whole weekend and you need to take some time on your own, wake up, go for a walk by yourself. Don't invite anyone.
Yep.
Don't.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that. I think that this goes for being in a wedding as well, because I was having a lot of anxiety when we were in Emma's wedding because I was the maid of honor and I had the speech to make, and I like knew in the back of my mind I was going to do okay because I'm okay public speaking, and if I have something planned out, I when I get started I'm okay, but I was like really anxious about it and I was talking to my therapist about it. And I said basically, like, in the moment, I'm going to be okay, but it's the lead up to it. It's the
yeah,
whole day thinking about it. And she's like, okay, well, let's brainstorm some ideas of what you can do that's going to make you feel comfortable throughout the whole day. I was like, because I know I'm going to get nauseous throughout the day. Like, I'm a person that like needs to eat a lot. So, like, I feel when there's like platters and stuff, I get nervous because I'm like, I could eat this whole thing. And
yeah,
she's like, Okay, well, those are really good things for you to identify and to know. She's like, so when you have that day, or put this in a bachelorette party,
Yeah.
make sure you plan things for yourself. So, like, bring yourself your favorite coffee. So, go to Whole Foods and get a couple of those little canned coffees that are, those espresso, whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're going to be hungry. So, like, pack a ton of snacks and bring them with you. And I'll probably do that for your bachelorette party too, because it's like,
Absolutely.
I know when I wake up, I have to eat immediately.
Yeah.
So it's like those little things just make me more comfortable. So I feel like it's thinking about those things ahead of time and then preparing as much as you can.
Yeah, I totally agree. Similarly, like in terms of not wanting to try to just like keep up with everyone or catch up, or like for those who like don't drink a ton or whatever, getting some of those like canned non-alcoholic drinks for the house, or some like little like the Celsius like energy drinks or something. So like if everyone's pre-gaming or something, like you can have a little something and you're a part of it, you have something in your hand. No one's gonna question it, no one's gonna ask. And if they
I mean,
do,
some people
like,
do. Some people do.
then that's their problem, you know, like you don't have to have an excuse or whatever, but then at
Yep.
least you'll have like a plan.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agree.
I
I
like
love
that.
that. Me too.
Um, cool. Do you have anything else?
No, I feel like we nailed it right on the head. That was great.
I love it. Have you ever done anything at any bachelorettes, like games that were fun, or like surprises for the bride that were special at all?
Um, I'm trying to think. I feel like there's those games that you play kind of at when you have your slumber party night where it's kind of like uh sometimes they do it at the shower too of did he do it first or did she
Yeah.
do it first, those types of things. And then to write little like notes. I know we remember we did it at Noel's. We like wrote how we first met the bride and then she had to
Oh,
read it and then like guess who it was or whatever.
that's cute.
Um, so that was cute. So I feel like just little fun things, if you're gonna have a night in, especially, those are really fun. And I'm also a really big board game player. So like
Into
bring
it.
your cards, bring your board games. I love me some good games.
Same. I feel like we should bring like um like what do you meme, and like those funny card
Mm,
games, Cards Against Humanity. Like they don't
yeah,
get old. They're hilarious.
I know. I know. I'm so bad at them too because my humor, I get like nervous and I'm like, oh no, my humor is gonna be weird or something.
We can play on a team, okay? You don't have to overthink it. One cute thing that we did for my friends, it was actually at her wedding day. It wasn't the bachelorette, but I think her sister or her parents or something planned it, and it was so cute. They got a scrapbook and then had all of us print out pictures and then write a letter and then like place it all. So we each had like a page or two, and then gave it to her the morning of.
Love that.
And she got to scroll through and feel like so special and loved.
Yeah, that's adorable. I love that.
But yeah,
Well, we'll take a tip, leave a tip. We
yeah,
appreciate it.
love it.
See you guys next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.